Okay, over the course of this year, I've been releasing a number of tips for beginners in portrait via shorts. Some of these are done quite well, others not so well. This is the terrible ones, the awful ones that no one wanted. These are my worst ever tips. This is 10 tips in reverse order from the 10th worst to the very worst, with the tiny few people that watch them. Enjoy.
Hi, here's another diamond guitar tip from Darren White at Guitars Are Hard. Are you thinking about learning, or have you started learning or playing guitars? Here's something no one told you. You are gonna suck and you're gonna be frustrated, and you need to learn to love that suck, because everyone sucks at first. All your guitar heroes did. They were all exactly where you are now. Here's a massive insight. There's no such thing as talent. There's only learning and practice. The more you do of both of those, the more talented you get. Here's a statistic: 95% of new guitarists quit in their first year, which shows you something about this sort of time scale. Most of those quit in their first month, which shows you that the ones that went on to be actual guitarists gave it more than a year. That's what you have to do too. It needs commitment. Hi, another diamond guitar tip here from Darren White at Guitars Are Hard. Are you starting to learn guitar, thinking of learning guitar? What most people do is get one of these, an acoustic. Is it the right thing to do? Acoustics are great because everything you need is here. I need to tune that. But they have one downside, which is thicker strings. What you might find is that it's easier to play an electric which has thinner strings, and also because the songs sound more like what you're trying to copy. Obviously this will cost more because you also need to get a lead and a practice amp, but this might be the way to go because it's ultimately easier for you to start playing with. But the choice is yours. Go to a guitar shop, try out both, get advice. Thank you. Welcome to another diamond guitar tip. Guitars Are Hard. Buy yourself a stand. Always have your guitar or guitars on that stand. Don't put them away. Leave that stand in the place where you work the most, where you are the most. This is my office from home, my studio, everything, my little den. My guitars are out here and I can pick them up at any time and play one, even if it's not plugged in. And even if all you're playing is something a little frivolous. Even if you're not plugged in. I often pick this up and just have a play while I'm thinking. And it helps me think. Who knows, you might even get your guitar 5 a day. That's 5 minutes of playing stroke practice a day. Hello and welcome to another diamond guitar tip with me, Darren White from Guitars Are Hard. This is quite a biggie. When you're playing the guitar, try to keep your thumb from creeping over. I know it's kind of natural to do that, but what you end up then doing is playing the guitar kind of like a club, and it kind of encourages you to grip too hard. What you should have instead is your thumb in the center of the back of the neck. And the reason it's a good idea to do that is it's better technique. It opens your hand out and kind of makes it bigger, but also puts the right pressure in the right place. Because you'll see your guitar heroes do that. And sometimes even play chords with using their thumb, but that's only because as they first learned the correct and proper technique, and so can you. Thank you. Bye now. Great to learn songs by playing along with the records, but if there's tricky bits or bits you just can't get, there's nothing wrong with playing those over and over again until you get them. So I'm learning a song where the verse goes like this. Fine, I can play that. Then every other line, it goes into this little riff like this, which again I can play separately, but I have trouble when I put them together. So there's nothing wrong with me doing this endlessly till I get it right. I'm sure you you get the idea from that. Same can be said for solos. Just keep going and going until you've got them, so you can't get them wrong. Hi, welcome to another diamond tip from me, Darren White of Guitars Are Hard. Is don't spend too little on a guitar. Ultra cheap guitars can be difficult and hard to play. They can have scratchy, uneven frets that cause buzzing. They can have terrible action, can have intonation you can never sort out. This S-style guitar is from a company called East Coast and is very affordable, £100. Look at reviews, look at YouTube. You'll learn some great stuff there. Another affordable guitar maker is Harley Benton of Toman. They make some great guitars. Welcome to another tip from me, Darren at Guitars Are Hard. Here's another diamond tip just for you. When you're strumming, especially if you're strumming a acoustic and making some big swipes, a lot of times you'll see people doing these really elaborate things from the wrist. That's going to hurt your wrist. You've got little muscles there. Where you should be strumming from is the elbow, and it's a little hard to show you with the guitar at this angle, but there's a big muscle up there on the elbow. So if you keep your wrist straight and do it from the elbow, it's a lot less action. There's a lot less of your wrist to hurt from doing that. Thank you for watching. Hi, welcome to another diamond tip from me, Darren White of Guitars Are Hard. This is the one I wish somebody had told me. When fretting a note, that is pressing down with your finger on the string behind the fret to form the note, one thing people do is press too hard, especially beginners. What you need to do is, starting from no pressure, just push down on that until you hear the note without any buzzing or clipping or ringing. And that's as hard as you need to press. If I press too hard, and you can probably hear this, can you hear me? I'm bending the string, potentially putting it out of tune. Pressing too hard is the enemy of getting around the fretboard quickly. That's all you need to do, as little as possible. Hi, Darren here from Guitars Are Hard with another diamond guitar tip. Are you about to start on your guitar learning journey? Your first guitar, go to a guitar shop, pick up and try a few different guitars out. This is my acoustic. I went and tried out a load of bigger guitars than this, dreadnoughts, and what I found was that I just couldn't get my arm over it. It was too big. I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't gone to that guitar shop. My go-to guitar for learning new things, for learning new songs, is this S-style guitar. The reason I like it, and I wouldn't have known this if I just ordered it online, is that it's got a really low action, which is the distance from the strings to the fretboard. It's got a lovely thin satin neck, and the fretboard isn't thick. So all in all, this makes it a very easy guitar to play. Go to a guitar shop, take their advice, pick the guitar that's right for you. Hi, and welcome to another diamond guitar tip by me, Darren from Guitars Are Hard. Do you know the right way to pick strings, to pluck them? Might be a silly question, but this is something I wish somebody had shown me. What a lot of people tend to do is kind of flick away, which is not a very economic motion. What you should be doing is picking down so your pick rests on the string below. That's a very economic action. Don't flick away. Go down, rest on the next string, and then you're perfectly placed to come back for the next note. It takes a bit of practice to do, it takes a bit of getting used to. You have to sort of train yourself to do it, especially if you've been playing for some time and you've been doing something a bit more extravagant. I'm exaggerating there. I wish somebody told me that at the beginning.